Hello, ninth graders. Welcome to our new lecture. Today I'm going to introduce a new theme, craftsmen and crafts, also known as handicrafts. So let's begin. Lesson 1, the selection is entitled Sharing the World's Riches. But before we do that, we need to start with some lead-in question. First of all, what are handicrafts? Okay, handicrafts, and why are they important? How are craftsmen? Craftsmen are people who perform handicrafts. How are craftsmen and the heritage of a nation correlated to each other? How are they related to each other? To which extent might handicrafts be an empowering tool to women? Who might excel in the field of making handicrafts, men or women? Why? What are types of handicrafts Lebanese cities, villages are known for? Let's begin. First of all, the term handicrafts refers to the making of decorative household or other objects by hand, hence the prefix hand, okay? The art of creating handicrafts, why is it important? It helps preserve or keep or maintain a country's culture and heritage by making traditional artifacts that reflect a country's culture and are passed from one generation to the next. Remember, handicrafts are made by hand. They are not something that is mass produced in factories by the thousands and the hundred thousands. That's why they are so precious, so valuable. Let's take a look at those pictures here. Do you see this handicraft here? Okay. Things that are carved into the wood, okay, certain trinkets, certain kinds of metals or certain kinds of stones. Look at this. Also, this is some sort of woodwork, very famous in Lebanon. Look at this. Soap making, and this is traditional soap making from different types of oils, okay? Now, traditional Lebanese handicrafts. As we all know, Lebanon is very famous for its beautifully made traditional handicrafts. Some types of famous Lebanese handicrafts are woodwork. Take a look at this. Look how they carve into wood. Also, carving into cedar wood is very famous in Lebanon. Those are precious. They cost a lot of money, okay? And they're beautiful. There's basketry, weaving baskets, very famous in Lebanon, still done till this very day. Whenever you go to a traditional marketplace, traditional souk, you will find it. In Tyre, we have an awesome souk, and all of those are sold there, woodwork, basketry. Another famous Lebanese handicraft is glass blowing. Glass blowing is made by blowing into a mold of glass and giving it shape, just like these ones. Okay, they're very beautiful. They make very beautiful shapes and colors using different metals and chemicals. Okay, there's also the Jazine cutlery. Cutlery are tools used to eat. Look at how beautiful they are. Those of you who have been to Jazine have, of course, seen this type of traditional handicraft. Those are very valuable, by the way. They're expensive. Some of them are made or plated with gold. Some of them are plated with silver. Look at the nice stones carved into them. Some of them, the handles are made of ivory or other precious materials. Okay? Now let's start reading the selection and sharing, which is called Sharing the World's Riches. Jeddah sees travel as important as breathing. Recognizing the world's beauty and diversity, she wants to encounter its majesty with her own eyes, rather than just on pictures. Tasting different flavors with her own palate and learning from different cultures and people are some of the things that fascinate her most. This, she believes, feeds her curiosity as well as her soul. Most often, she travels alone. This, she thinks, plays a crucial part in her overall discovery of new lands. Cheda explains, "When I am by myself, I see and feel more. My senses become more heightened. Every part of me soaks in the newness and differences in a way that I don't experience when I have companions." Okay, most of us, we like to travel in a group or with another person, but Jeda feels that traveling alone is more important for her because she has a better experience of where she's going to. Paragraph 3. When it comes to choosing a country to travel to, Jeddah can't really pinpoint anything specific that inspires her to go there. It can be a book she has read or a conversation she has had. What she knows for sure, however, is that her dream is to travel to every country in the world. So far, she has traveled to 39, living in 5 of those. Although Jeddah supports both men and women artists, she aims to support women, especially in developing countries. During her Osaka trip, for example, she purchased necklaces mixing traditional embroidery with contemporary elements, like the charms of Frida Kahlo. By the way, Frida Kahlo is a very famous Spanish artist. She's long dead now. These necklaces are all made by women artists led by a woman designer called Gabrielle Vilches, who works hard to mix old and new to make it new again. Paragraph 6. Jeddah's online shop features baskets made in the Panamanian rainforest by the Wunan tribal women, baskets considered by many to be some of the best in the world. By buying these baskets, Jen not only supports the livelihood of the women involved in making the craft and their families, she also encourages the preservation of this traditional craft, which is unfortunately slowly disappearing. So what we note from paragraphs 5 and 6 is that Jeddah supports women craftswomen in order to support their livelihood and to improve their lives. Jeddah gives the artisans a voice by telling their stories and a platform where to expose. Her mission is to highlight the things that make these artisans' artistry stand out. In addition, Jen buys the goods directly from local artisans. Okay, there's no mid person that will make the price go up, passing them a fair wage based on the price of their choice. Paragraph 8. The world is full of wonderful artistry, sometimes in the most unexpected places, and Jeddah wishes to share these amazing riches through her shop. She also wants to educate her customers about why they are so special while supporting the creative traditions and craftsmanship which make the world vibrant and interesting. Well, after reading this, now we're going to answer comprehension questions, then we'll move on to different types of questions. Number 1, identify and explain 2 figures of speech used in paragraphs 1 and 2. Number 2, refer to paragraph 2 to tell how traveling alone is advantageous according to Jeddah. 3, according to paragraph 3, what inspires Jeddah to travel to a certain country? And finally, number 4, based on paragraph 6, to which extent do social media means help in preserving handicrafts? So how is she using social media to preserve, to keep, to maintain those handicrafts? Okay, let's take those questions one by one. Number 1, here I displayed the question and I displayed the paragraph where it is. Identify and explain 2 figures of speech used in paragraphs 1 and 2. Let's take a look. Okay, tasting different flavors with her own palate and learning from different cultures and people are some of the things that fascinate her most. Okay, let's begin. Jeddah sees travel as important as breathing. Jeddah sees travel as important as breathing. So here, Jeddah is using what figure of speech? She is using a simile because she used as to compare travel to breathing. Let's take a look at paragraph 2. Okay. Most often she travels alone. This, she thinks, plays a crucial part in her overall discovery of new lands. Jeddah explains, when I am by myself, I see and feel more. My senses become more heightened. Every part of me soaks in the newness and differences. Okay, every part of me soaks in the newness. Of course, this is a figurative type of language. Every part of her is not really soaking. Okay, this is metaphorically speaking. So she is using a metaphor to show us how great this experience is for her. So the answers are as follows. In paragraph 1, Jeddah sees travel as important as breathing. This is the first figure of speech. As important as breathing is a simile in which travel is compared to breathing using the word as, which indicates how important it is, as important as breathing. In paragraph 2, every part of me soaks in the newness. We already talked about that. Every part of her is not soaking. It's metaphorical, in which it's a metaphor in which Jeddah speaks of her body parts as if they were something that soaks in newness, which is of course not literal or real. She does that to show how happy she feels when she travels. Now refer to paragraph 2 to tell how traveling alone is advantageous according to Jeddah. Most often she travels alone. Okay, most often she thinks plays a crucial role in her overall discovery of new lands. Jeddah explains, when I am by myself, I see and feel more. My senses become heightened. Every part of me soaks in the newness and differences in a way that I don't experience when I have companions. So, when traveling alone, Jeddah feels more. Her senses are more heightened, and each part in her soaks in the newness and differences. Number 3, according to paragraph 3, what inspires Jeddah to travel to a certain country? Okay, when it comes to choosing a certain country, it's not really anything specific. It can be a book she read or a conversation she had. What she knows for sure, however, is that her dream is to travel to every country in the world. Okay, so what inspires Jeddah to travel to a certain country isn't something specific. Okay, it could be a book she has read or a conversation she has had. Traveling to every country in the world is her dream. Now, finally, number 4, based on paragraph 6 displayed here, to which extent do social media means help in preserving handicrafts? Here they talked about Jeddah's online shop and how she uses this platform to sell the items and to display the great work of those women. Okay, she travels and gathers items when she displays them online. Then she displays them online. Through her online shop, items reach the world and allure or attract millions of people to buy them. So this is how she uses social media for her advantage and for the advantage of those women, those craftswomen. Now, part B, the following statements are all false, okay? All false. Because they misinterpret some information stated or implied in the text, rewrite them correctly. Jeddah likes traditional items. Jeddah feeds her thirst for discovery by looking through pictures. Of course not. Artisans in developing countries are giving high wages by Jeddah, actually much more than they deserve. No, she gives them fair wages. She didn't say she gave them high wages. She was fair to them. Places where professional artisans dwell are worldwide famous. Okay, so let's check the answers. Jeddah purchases necklaces mixing traditional embroidery with contemporary elements. That's A. Jeddah feeds her thirst for discovery by traveling. She doesn't go look through pictures, of course. Artisans in developing countries are given fair wages by Jeddah, not high, not low, fair. Places where professional artisans dwell are sometimes unexpected. Okay, so of course not all of them are known. And that's what Jeddah is striving for. She wants them to be known, and she's working on that. Part C, scan paragraphs 5 through 8 to fill in the following chart with some information about the importance of handicrafts. Okay, importance of handicrafts according to the country and the artisan, in relation to the country and the artisan. Economic. How does it help economically, money-wise? How does it help the artisan personally, on a personal level, and how does it help them socially? Okay, let's check. Okay, so you need to go to paragraphs 5 through 8, thoroughly examine them in order to get these answers. Economic, enhancing the standard of living, of course. They get money, their standard of living is higher. Getting income, a fixed income. You get money on a certain fixed basis. Personal, of course, gaining confidence. They're doing great work and they're appreciated for it. Being independent. When you make money, you feel independent. You feel much better. Socially, what does it do to a country and to a person and to generations? Preserving or keeping the heritage and passing it from one generation to another. Okay? Now, part D. Tell what the underlined pronouns in the text refer to. This in paragraph 1. This in paragraph 2. It in paragraph 3. And finally, that in paragraph 7. Let's take a look. You look before and you look after. The referent could even be in the previous paragraph. Okay, guys? So you need to look thoroughly. Tasting different flavors with her own palate. Palate is what you taste with in your tongue. And learning from different cultures and people are some of the things that fascinate her most. This, she believes, feeds her curiosity. Okay? This aspect, tasting different flavors with her own palate and learning from different cultures. Okay? Now, paragraph 2. Most often she travels alone. This, she thinks, plays a crucial part in her overall discovery of new lands. This obviously refers to traveling alone. When it comes to choosing a country, okay, okay. Now finally, paragraph 7. Her mission is to highlight the things that make these artistry stand out. Things that. So obviously it refers to things. This in paragraph 1 refers to tasting different flavors and learning different cultures. This in paragraph 2 refers to traveling alone. It in paragraph 3 refers to choosing a country. That in paragraph 7 refers to the things. Okay? Okay, now contextual clues and vocab. Use contextual clues to figure out the meaning of each word in the box from its context. You need to go back to the context, figure it out in case you don't know it. And remember, some words have different meanings in different contexts. You always need to go back to the real context. Then fill in the blanks with the correct word to complete each of the following. Majesty, she used it in the text to refer to something grand, royal, okay? Majesty. Companion is a friend or a person that accompanies you. Embroidery is a type of handicraft where you use a needle and a thread, okay, to create something beautiful. Livelihood is what you make money out of in your life, your daily livelihood. Preservation is the keeping or maintaining of something. Platform is a stage A platform could be a real platform, a real stage, like when you go up on the stage and speak, or it could be metaphorical, like the social media. Social media apps are a platform to express ourselves. So let's begin. He stepped onto the and looked into the audience. Obviously, he stepped onto the platform. She learned what from her grandmother? So this is the context here. Grandmother, remarkable artisan. Of course, she learned embroidery. These laws are intended to help in the of natural scenery. This word here is scenery. These laws are intended to help in the preservation or maintenance or keeping. I have heard of such cases, and I know that his is very severe in such affairs. His Majesty, talking about the king. Okay? The following are the answers. Okay, please go through this again and again if you need to, and we'll meet soon through Zoom in order to discuss this furthermore. See you.